Batman. You Batman, right? Go rock out, Batman. Hey, nigga, you that nigga, right? And you couldn't get it done. Because Mason, I think you're correct with that part. Jason Tatum might have been hearing them rumblings. Oh, yo,
I'm gonna sit out.
Yeah, the chemistry is crazy. This, that. I bet. You know what? Let's see if he figured this out dolo, and he did. Let me ask you this, Mase, because you wasn't here for this. And Trish, I'll ask you as well. But I'll start with Mase. Jaylen Brown, right after they lost, goes on Twitch 10, 11 hours afterwards and starts twitching. You know what I'm saying?
Bad idea.
Yeah. And then, I don't care if you don't like my new name. I called it twitching. She mad because the nigga twitching. Yo, so some of the things he said was that, you know, he started saying, well, he said this before Joel Embiid is flopping. But the thing that stood out to me more than anything, he says he's not upset, and to him, this was his best year career-wise. How do you feel about that statement, knowing that Jason Tatum didn't play most of the year, and he was really the man, and then he says it's his best year career-wise when he gets bumped in the first round, and a couple years ago, you won a championship, which you got finals MVP and playoff MVP. But he said this year is his best year. So those were the statements he made, and I gave you the facts around the statement he made 10 hours after getting eliminated. What do you feel about that, Mason?
I think that's horrible for a person of that caliber, because this is the guy that definitely got lower in points as the season went on. If you look at the last game, 5, 6, and 7, right? These are the 3 games they lost back to back. He's in the 18, 17 point range. And then when you think about like just that statement alone, how is it your best year if you guys are not winning? Like that's crazy to even say. That's not a championship way of thinking. You know, that's a individuality on a bad team, might win 45 games or so. You know, that's just a bad mentality. That's a playing mentality. That's a 8th seed mentality of a guy that's playing at that caliber. I think when he's saying this, I don't know where he's getting that from. I really don't know. And I don't like that, because this Boston team just a couple years ago was a championship team. So it's horrible to hear him say that.
Trish, what do you think?
And to that point, Tatum only didn't play the last game. Tatum played game 6 and 7.
But I'm just asking about a statement. But that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give me one, nigga.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get one. Since you're the man, go ahead and get one. But yeah, you're right. He only didn't play game 7. But I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about the statement. But
this is like that year when they ran the play for Tony Kukoc, right? Like what Cam say. You wanna be the guy, and then they put the ball in your hand, and or the things don't go a certain way, and now you're mad. But these are the type of things you got to make sure these things go well, Jaylen Brown, because it'll play into your legacy, right? There is stuff just like this that could begin to be a spiral. No matter how good of a player you are, your image matters towards this sport that we call basketball, and I definitely think you should pay attention to that. Because so far you've been doing very great, but it's just the explosive things that you say outside of basketball that make people pay attention to you, or things you say, you just got to find a better way to say it. Because what you're saying, I understand what you're trying to say, but there's a better way to say it.
Nah, I think the shit was whack. I'm not even sugarcoating it. It's dumb whack. Shit was corny, and you felt like that, say it amongst your niggas. You don't get on the fucking streaming and say this is the best year you had, and you've been to 6 conference finals. You've been to 6 conference finals as a Boston Celtic, and then, like I said, you win a championship and you win an MVP, you get bumped in the first round, and then you say the best year you have because Jason Tatum didn't play. Now, to what Trish said, it may be some friction, which we don't know, but basically you're saying, I like being out here by myself, whether we win or lose, or whatever. I dig it. Secondly, what you're saying, Trish, it's the first time I'm hearing that. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying it's the first time I'm hearing it. How the fuck you got a problem with the Boston Celtics after they gave you $320 million? Now you got a problem with niggas. I hate that.
That's the come on, my nigga moment.
Yeah. I hate that shit, bro. I hate it, my nigga. Like, that's like saying, right? And I know this nigga, and this nigga know me, right? And that's like me going on, say Mase is out for the week. Say I'm out, let's use reverse, I'm out for the week, and Mase goes on another podcast, he's like, yeah, this the best week it is what it is ever. I'm like, oh, really? It is, huh? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is the shit that starts causing controversy amongst people. If you feel like that, keep it to yourself. Once you start putting in the air, you giving people ammunition.
Yeah, to work against the unit.
Yeah, to start talking shit against people. Keep it amongst you and your niggas and shut the fuck up if you really feel that way.
And I'm talking about the part of if he feel like the other stuff that he's talking about. This particular statement should have never been stated at all. Because I think these things start playing into his reputation. And, you know, when you're in Boston, you know, Boston needs a certain image to run this organization. That's just what it's always been. And that's not going to change because today you can do the things that you're doing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Twitch, though, too, because it's live. It's not any pre-recorded. It's no edits. So a lot of the people who get on these platforms, especially when they have something outside of that platform going on, it's just like, if you don't know how to kind of navigate that or say certain things once it's already said, like, and this is why we're having a discussion about it, it becomes a whole separate thing that it didn't need to be, and it could have been a lot less drama. So maybe just internalize.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying too. First of all, you probably a little emotional you lost, but then you acting like you're not emotional you lost.
Yeah.
Yo, take 48 hours to think about it. Be like, I'm gonna do it. Yo, the nigga went on Mase 10 hours after the loss. Like, yo, take some time out. To be like, yo,
go chill out.
Yeah, do you think this is smart? But I think it's an addiction to, you know, younger people, to the internet.
They feel like they gotta say something right now.
Right.
I gotta answer this right now.
Yeah, or I would just want, you ain't have nothing to answer.
Yeah,
you
already lost.
Yeah, you think about all the stuff that happens off the court that you was alluding to, not just Jaylen Brown, that's messing athletes up, just off the court shit. And not only that, streaming shit. And I hate to bring it up, but you know, Ja Morant gets off suspension. He in the car dancing with his man, a pistol show. His man try to put the phone down. Streaming.
Yeah.
Yo, get off of the live, nigga. Discussing niggas, you know, not saying your job or anything, but you're gonna be talked about, bro. I don't think that was a good move. But at the same time, you know what I did think, Trish, you know what I did think, Stat Mase, is that Jaylen Brown's like fucking, what was it, like Stanford? He's super smart. What's
Cal Berkeley.
Cal Berkeley. Yeah. Like, he's a super duper smart nigga, very intelligent. Yeah. This was more calculated to me.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a wild, random nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's very intelligent. Because one time he was driving in the car and he was like, yeah, I need life to be more boring and things like that. Yeah. And he was like, so I could stay focused and stay on the path. And I thought that was really good as well.
Yeah,
so when he makes this statement, is you get 300 million. You know how it goes, Killer. You got 300 million.
Yeah. So I don't think, like I said, some people would be like, oh, he should have waited. He should have did this, or I think he should have been emotional, which I said too. But then I thought about it, I'm like, this nigga's kind of like, he's almost one of them genius niggas when they do the IQ test, he at the top of the list. Like, he's not a dumb nigga by any stretch of the imagination. So I think that it might have been calculated.
Yeah. Last thing before we wrap, because I think it all ties in, and we kind of had this conversation on a previous episode. So Mase, I want to get your perspective on it. We were talking about athletes, players, just like a range of them kind of pursuing other careers, I guess, to be more culturally and socially relevant. And like one of the examples that came up was
culturally
like Lamar.
And socially relevant.
Yeah. So
they're doing things outside of their sport.
Yes. You sound like you already have thoughts. But,
I do.
Yeah. What is your opinion on that? We talked about Lamar basically like wanting to become a reality star and like doing all these other things.
Which Lamar?
Oh, like back when. But how do you feel about that?
I think at the tail end of your career, it's okay to do stuff like that because you're looking to transition and to do stuff every now and then just to figure out what are we going to be doing after we play this sport that we love, that we've been playing since we was 5 years old, 6 years old. But I think the main thing has to stay the main thing. If you want to be great, I just think about that all the time. That's one of the reasons why people don't achieve greatness is because they got too many things on their plate. I like to say when options is a bad thing. Some people think options is a good thing. Options is a bad thing for greatness. It was like when you saw the Knicks playing Atlanta, we knew Atlanta was going to lose because they had other options. When people got options, they use them. Well, part of why we made it because we didn't have another option, right? So in this society that people are in now, they got a plan B, they got a plan C, they got all of these other things. And that's part of why greatness is not being produced at a higher level.
A little bit, but he says what happened to the dude in jail better than Jordan that didn't get that shot. So you have people who may be practicing to be the best at their craft, but if the opportunity doesn't present itself, then what's going to happen? A lot of times I say things and it turns out to be funny, but I'm serious. It turned out to be funny when I was talking about females selling themselves in Medellin, but all jokes aside, what other opportunities do they have outside? I'm not saying that Medellin doesn't have things to give up, but if that's the only opportunity that they have, what else are you going to do? Sometimes you can be the best and practice your heart out and everything else, but you have to have the opportunity to present itself. Because you got to think about this, when Mase and myself, we wasn't standing around our block saying we the best. It's a bunch of niggas do that. We going to fucking meetings, A&Rs, we spending sneaker money on studio time, we going to Jack the Rapper, we going all over the place.
We went everywhere.
We went everywhere. Because if you stay there and try and sit there and say, okay, I'm the best, somebody gonna come over and figure it out. If you in Harlem, it's one of you in Nebraska. It's one of you in Arkansas. It's one of you in Seattle. What's gonna make them niggas believe that you have something different? Same thing with Stat. You sit there, you're a journalist, one of the top journalists, actually got awards for NAACP, etc. What if Kevin Spencer doesn't answer your email?
Yeah.
What if he doesn't pick up your phone call? What if you don't get to the studio when we ask you to come to the studio? I'm not saying you wouldn't be successful, but I'm just saying you're on one of the top sports shows, period, but by luck as well. No matter how much you went to school, no matter how much you planned for this, no matter how much you worked hard, sometimes luck is the residue of design. Same thing with Nick. You too, Nick. I just happened to walk in the studio with Larry, like, oh, it's a studio in here. Luckily, Nick was there. Nick's like, oh shit, Cam, I'm from New York. Oh shit, yo, this crazy. What if Nick went to the bathroom? He may not even be in that studio. You know what I'm saying? It's a fact. This is all truth.
But let me ask you this.
Sometimes you can work your heart out, but the opportunity has to present itself. Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, but so you said it that way. And me and Nick was having that same conversation before the show. Nick was in here. We probably talked about 20 or 30 minutes. You'll call that luck. I call that you walking towards your destiny. And every time you have an opportunity to seize the moment, whether you're going to Jack the Rapper, whether you're going to hang up a poster, or anything that helps you to advance towards what you should be doing, you're just paying attention to the voice and you're staying focused on the main thing that gets you there, right? And so where you'll say luck is a residual design, it's you constantly listening to this voice that keeps you going towards a thing and not becoming distracted. I actually think that everybody ends up earning their place. I think everybody ends up getting what their works deserve, whether you're making good decisions or bad decisions. And if you make bad decisions, you'll go towards a different fate. And I'm just talking about my own life. And things started to go well for me once I started making all these like small decisions, and where they would seem like coincidence, I didn't look at them as coincidence. I look at it like as God and the universe rewarding me for me staying down the path. Like I felt like I was supposed to meet y'all. I was supposed to get the call from you. I was supposed to do this. Like this is where your life is supposed to be at. So I totally get and agree with what you're saying. And then I also would add to it, that I view it as like you're paying attention to what you should be doing. And I call it like if something energizes you, if something naturally energizes you and it draws you like just energy and happiness, I think that's God saying, hey, this is what you should be doing, or this is who you should be drawing closer to. And things that sort of like drain you, you shouldn't be around those, or things that help you get to your dream. You'll naturally be pulled to do these things. And if you pay attention to them, then and sort of obey and walk in that way, then, you know, I don't know, you'll be rewarded.
I believe in that too, though, Mo. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I think we said the same thing.
I believe what you're saying is destiny as well. A lot of things is destiny, and you know, I've used luck as the result of design, but you're saying destiny. I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be, and I believe in that as well. But that doesn't mean it's bad people who aren't where they should be at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just use a different example. Like, I got an uncle come home from jail, right? And this has nothing to do with us. And he keep telling me how he used to rob banks. And he telling me, yo, all I had to do was make that left turn. We was good. But you didn't. You went straight. You didn't make the left turn. So you went to jail. So therefore, I understand where you're coming from as well. I'm not disagreeing with you, but everybody doesn't get the opportunity. But I totally get what you're saying. You have to be there. Same thing, that's why I use Mase's example, because he went to meet Jermaine Dupri, but it was destined that he met Puff. But he had to get there, but he didn't just go there without putting the work in first. They didn't just go on the women and say, yo, let's go figure it out. I'm a freestyle. No, he put the work in to go there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving different points, but I think what everybody said is correct. I just want to give a few different angles from what we're talking about.
Yeah, I also want to say you have to put yourself in a position to be able to accept good opportunities as well, because I think a lot of people do, because we started the conversation with fame and talent, and a lot of people do have talent that they're either hiding from the world, or even kind of what we were discussing earlier, there are TikTokers, there are people who started on Musical.ly just lip syncing things, who had quite literally no talent and had to create a talent out of that just to translate that talent to dollars that they never had, just to be able to make a living out of something that wasn't initially sustainable. So it's interesting because nowadays there's so many loopholes, and it's interesting every time I talk to y'all, because to me, you guys are people who have, I call it real fame. There's like different sections of fame. Like when you bring up the story,
question, what is that? Yeah, break it down.
So like Mase brings up the story of how he actually had to used to go city to city to like promote albums and promote tours and things like that. People really can just pick up a phone and post something, or make, like, I saw a clip of like Ice Spice getting in a fight at McDonald's, but it was to promote a collaboration that she had with Wendy's. Like, that's not a normal way of showing this is my talent. It's just to get a click or just to have a viral moment. So It's kind of misconstrued, because my generation sees clips like that and we're like, oh, this is sustainable, because we're not thinking talent. We're like, this person is famous. This person has views. And unfortunately now, all it takes is views to translate to dollars. So if that's something that you value, which comes back to what is it that you value, that's all you really need. You don't really have to have talent to back that up, because I know if I have a viral moment, in return, I'm going to be rewarded with money. And that kind of goes back to the player conversation with that. Like, if I'm obviously, to get to the league, it's a lot more than just a viral moment. But if you can have the opportunity to get to the league, and then some people are able to kind of cruise by and have other viral moments, in addition to maybe just some good plays here or there that are able to kind of keep them there, there's not really like a concrete way of like, this is what you're supposed to do to get to this next level. It's been misconstrued, and we've seen it from just different people, because I'm not going to say there's a whole lot of like super talented, that sounds terrible, but it's the truth, super talented people of this generation, because there's just 1,000,001 ways to get a view or get a click or to become viral or become famous.
They're not showcasing. This generation is not showcased in much of their talent, because like you said, they don't have to.
Yeah.
They're just going towards the viral moment, and then you're recognizing this person does have some talent.
Yeah.
I think when the masses are drawn to people that doesn't come from the machine, you just had something that the whole world wanted, you know? And I think there's people that in this generation, they have that.
Yeah.
The money just helps it. And I think that's the thing that really, that makes a lot of artists freak out, because once the machine is pulled away from them, they recognize it wasn't you.
Yeah.
It was the marketing dollars that was behind you. And they're like, oh, everybody's not helping me. No, it was never you. You just had something, but they were throwing, you know, the gas on your fire.
Yeah, extra little something to help it. Where all those numbers come from?
But see the thing. But see, this is the thing, and this is all great points. I love this conversation because to me, it's if I'm younger, right, and it's Cam, Mase, and Mo having this conversation. I'm 19, stream or whatever you want to call me. I'm like, if y'all want to work harder and not smarter, that's on y'all.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at me because I sit home in front of this chair and I make $20,000 a week. That's on y'all. If you want to get on a flight and fly in and shoot a show 800 days out the week, that's on y'all niggas. I'm just telling you, if I'm 19, how I would be thinking. You think about this, and this will be my last point on this. Y'all guys should close out whatever you want to close out with. I don't know if you guys remember the Cash Me Out girl. That was on Dr. Phil.
Bad baby.
Right.
Yeah.
See, you know her name, Seth. Why do you know her name?
That was like that was the thing.
And she about 50 million years. She up.
That's my point. That's exactly my point. Is she talented? But she's making 50 million a year, you said?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous, yeah.
So now you be like, that bitch ain't talented. Whatever. Whatever. Cash me out.
Yeah, you go into a club and they say, how much are you paying me? And you find out she got paid more than you tight.
That's my point. That's exactly my point. So exactly. So where you can't get mad. She didn't even do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Cash me out, man. And now you're without. I don't even know she's making that much a year, but I know she had like I didn't know she was. Yeah, but the point back, she was OnlyFans.
Yes.
And then after that, you sit there and everybody's not having sex all the time. I don't know what she did, but she could be showing her toes. You mad at her? No, I'm not mad. I'm gonna figure it out. Cam's gonna figure it out. I'm on TikTok live, y'all. Mr. _Camron. I'm going live this week. Y'all can donate.
So a clarity question, Cam. If you can make millions showing your toes, are you showing your toes?
Nah, but I'm not going on Dr. Phil and say cash me out neither. You know, I got a different type of, like you said, like Mo said, I'm talented.
You making my point. Look, you making my point. I said you have dignity. It's certain things you say, hey, I'm gonna come over here.
I never disagree with your point. But let me tell you this, right? I'll give you an example so you get where I'm coming from. It's generations. Every generation is different. You know what type of tantrum my grandfather would fit if he see me in a pink jacket? You know what? Nigga, I could never come back over there. Type of shit you on, nigga.
What was you thinking about?
What
your friends let you wear that?
Yeah, you keep wearing pink every day. What's wrong with you, bro? Yo, Dottie, that's my grandma. Tell them to come over here when I'm not here. He embarrassing me because now my friends are talking about your grandson outside in a pink fur with a pink car outside. I don't know what type of shit he on. Generation.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so now when we talking about it, nigga may look at us. We're all old enough to be grandparents. Literally, whether we are or aren't, but we old enough to.
Yeah.
I sat there and thought about that the other day. I'm like, there ain't no grandfather now, but I'm definitely old enough to be somebody's grandfather. So when you're sitting there and say, These niggas right here every day want to show toes or pinkies or whatever, dish plates, whatever stat show. You can't get mad at it. It's a new wave, man. It's just me. That's what seems like, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
No, even when you say that, what made me think about, I said all this stuff was going on, but the internet puts us all in the same room to see it, talk about it, have an opinion on it, where society used to be, if you're older, you stay in old people business. You know, everybody stayed in their business. And even as you saying this, whether I like Stat or not, like I have to be in her business because we're on the same platform. And before, everybody just had no mechanism to see everybody's business. So you start to have conversations that
But you making my point, Mo. You keep saying what niggas used to be like. Remember?
Back in the days.
Remember the time? Yeah. Yo, remember the time when we didn't have to be in everybody's business? You making my point. It ain't going backwards, bro.
we're seeing that.
They keep digging up technology every day. Every day, new technology's getting dug up. It's not going backwards. I just remember the times when we didn't have to do it. Well, good. Go play Michael Jackson. Remember the times and have fun. Go play T-Rock and see how smooth as I reminisce. Yeah, man. Yeah, have fun.
I want to leave on this note. I will say, it is important still, I think, what you value and also just like remaining true to who you are, because there are a lot of loopholes that we see, like even for me, and obviously everybody's path is different, but even for me, like I went to school in Miami. I was going to class. I was doing what I had to do. Even if I didn't go to class, even if that's not what I wanted to do, I could have worked, cool, whatever. At the same time, I'm seeing people live a lifestyle. I'm like, how they get that? I'm like, they're scamming. I'm like, dang, I want to be on a boat. I want to get this purse. I want to do this. I want to do that. But having a lasting legacy also depends on all the choices that you make in between them. Like for some of the people who was doing the other thing, even though that looked real lit at the time, they can't reap the benefits of all the money that they got because things happen in between time. And then on the other side, there are some people who can. So you just have to really choose those life decisions that make sense for you. If opportunity presents itself, make sure that you exert yourself to be able to try, at least see what can happen out of it, because you just never know what that next step that you take can lead you to. That's what I'm gonna say. But real talent is still a thing. We see it here every day. It's a real, very, very real thing. And hopefully people kind of come back to those roots, because it would be dope to see more of the newer generation actually like feeding into their good skills or like the things that they do enjoy to do. Like, cause we need something in everything. Not everybody can be a doctor. Like we need a range of people doing different things.
All right. That's where we gotta pump the brakes, cause we could keep going on Jaylen Brown's Twitch decisions and luck versus destiny for another hour easy. But that's the beauty of this show, man. We start with basketball and somehow end up talking about generational trauma and pink fur coats. That's just how it goes here. But seriously, y'all, appreciate you rocking with us through this whole one. Real conversation, real perspective, and yeah, a little clowning mixed in. That's the formula. If any of this got you thinking, or if you got a hot take on the Jaylen Brown situation, drop it in the comments, cause we actually read through them. And look, if you sat through this entire episode, you already know what type of content this is. So do us a favor, like the video, subscribe if you're not already, and turn them notifications on, cause next episode is already lining up to be one you don't want to miss. Trust me, whatever happens next in sports or entertainment, we gon' have something to say about it. Alright, that's us. It is what it is. We'll see y'all next time. Don't go nowhere.